Freeze the flames. Bombard the battlefield. Never fight alone. Hello, my lovely monsters. I am Fasa the Silver Chimera, and if you want a Warlock build that can fend off an entire army while you sit back and sip a Mai Tai, then allow me to present to you Finality's Beauty. First up, the exotic Linear Fusion Rifle, Finality's Auger. You can get this from the Sunder Doctrine dungeon. This comes with the perk Rune Scribe's Forge. Hold the reload button to fire out a floating turret that can rain down damage. Then we have Rune Scribe's Beacon. Once you've fired a turret, you can then mark a target for the turret to focus. When a target is painted, the target fires more powerful munitions. Then we have the Catalyst, which gives this weapon bait and switch. Hitting a target with all of your weapons makes Auger do more damage. And then I have to say this is probably one of my favorite newer exotics. It's really fun to use, and I love putting it up and behind enemies to force them out of cover. Next, we have the armor. We're using the new exotic Warlock gauntlets Eunioa. Winona. This comes with the perk Console's Pitch. Hellion projectiles deal more damage the further they travel, eventually fracturing into scorching shrapnel. These new gloves surprise me. I've always liked Hellion, but now I'm in love. Sitting in the back and watching the mortar break apart and plummet into the baddies is a new source of dopamine for me. Next up, we have the subclass. We're on Prismatic, and for our super, we're using Song of Flame for solar synergy, and when the super is active, Finality can scorch targets. For our melee, Arcane Needle for a touch of strand damage, and for the grenade, you can use whatever you want, but I like the cold snaps. For our aspect, Bleak Watcher, so you can turn our grenade into a stasis turret that slows and freezes targets. Next up, we have Hellion. When we pop our rift, we get a little solar buddy that lobs scorching mortars. For our fragments, first we have Facet of Purpose, so orbs give restoration and -10 to the class stat. Then we have Facet of Dawn, so our melee hits make us radiant, giving us a damage buff to our weapons, and -10 to the melee stat. Next, we have Facet of Ruin, to buff our shatter and ignitions, and give us +10 to the weapon stat. Finally, we have Facet of Courage. This makes it so our solo abilities do more damage against targets afflicted with darkness debuffs, and +10 to the grenade stat. This setup gives us survivability and a damage increase to our weapons and abilities. It's a very potent mixture of stasis and solar. Now, let's talk about the artifact. The main mods we want here are Fever and Chill for more radiant, Refresh Threads for ability energy when we pick up a fire sprite, Cauterize Darkness so our solar damage is buffed by stasis and strand debuffs, Elemental Daze for explosions against champions, Elemental Coalescence to make fire sprites, and finally we have Shield Crush so our grenade recharges faster and does more damage when we're radiant. This gives us ability energy, increases our damage, and adds more solar explosions. With Scorch, what's not to love, right? Now when we talk about stats, you want to focus class and weapon to have Hellion up as much as possible and make Auger hit a lot harder. Then, if you have some extra room or you're starting to get higher tiers of gear, you can also focus on the grenade stat to increase the damage and reduce the cooldown. Armor sets that work well with this build are the new Solstice armor for healing on rapid solar kills, and the Raid armor for extending the duration of Radiant. For our armor mods, on the head, Siphon mods to make orbs, Dynamo to get your super when you use your class ability. On the arms, Bolstering Detonation and Focusing Strike to class ability energy, and Impact Induction for grenade energy. On the chest, Charged Up for more armor charges and ammo generation mods. On the legs, Solar Surge mods for more damage, Absolution for ability energy, and Recuperation for health. Finally, on the class item, Time Dilation to extend our Solar Surge, and 2 powerful attraction mods to pick up orbs from a distance. This build excels at holding an area and burning down targets. We don't move unless we want to. The battlefield is ours to command. And when it's time for damage, just paint the boss and unleash all hell. It's a good time. Now let's talk about the outfit. Winona Ryder here has lots of fire and a Cabal symbol on it, so I wanted to look like I was a part of their forces. I used the Psionic Speaker hood because it looks like a Scion with the big eye, then I used the Spacewalk robes because of the lights and the overall design seemed to match. Then I used Tread of Hazen Lords because of the glowing tubes on the feet, and I used the Shadestalker Bond for the same reason. Finally, I used the Mind's Eye shader to make things glow orange like the gauntlets, and color everything blue like Kaido's forces. And I gotta say, this outfit looks really good. Mechanical, sophisticated, efficient. I dig it. I have a lot of fun with this build. Let me flood the battlefield with frost and fire. And I've always been a fan of summoning allies and constructs, trying to get as many as I possibly can on the battlefield. But tell me what you think. Do you like the build? Do you like the outfit? Are there any suggestions you'd make? Let's talk about it in the comment section below. If you don't know what to say, how about Frozen Flame? That feels appropriate. If you can do me a favor and bombard the subscribe button's house until there's nothing but ashes, that'd be great. Feel free to check out my other Destiny builds right here. Or you can check out my Destiny shorts right here. There's lots of dope stuff in there. Shout out to all the new subscribers, welcome, and I hope you enjoy your stay. Here's some gameplay of the build in action. In the meantime, I'm Fasa the Silver Chimera. I hope you have a joyous day despite the world trying to tear you down. I will see all of you beautiful monsters next time.
You made that look easy. Time for a bigger challenge.